In a small, quaint village, there was an old shop tucked in a narrow street filled with all sorts of antiques. The owner, Mr. Parker, was a quiet man who had spent his entire life fixing and restoring old items. His shop was known for its unique collection, but there was one item that had been sitting on his shelf for years. A broken, dusty clock. It had stopped ticking many years ago, and no one had shown interest in buying it. Every day Mr. Parker would look at the clock and think, maybe it's time to throw it away, it's beyond repair. But something about the clock kept him from doing so. Perhaps it was the clock's elegance, or the memories it held, but he couldn't bring himself to give up on it. One rainy afternoon, a young man walked into the shop looking for a gift for his grandmother. His eyes landed on the broken clock and he asked Mr. Parker, "Is this clock for sale?" Mr. Parker sighed, "It's broken, it hasn't worked in years. I don't think anyone would want it," but the young man insisted. "Can you fix it?" he asked, his eyes gleaming with hope. "Well, it would take a lot of work, but maybe it's worth a try," Mr. Parker said with a smile. The young man left the shop with the broken clock, and Mr. Parker set to work on it. He cleaned the gears, replaced the springs, and carefully fixed the intricate hands of the clock. After hours of effort, Mr. Parker wound the clock, holding his breath as the hands slowly started to move. It ticked once more. The clock was not just fixed. It was now a masterpiece restored to its former glory. Mr. Parker smiled with satisfaction as he watched the clock begin to mark time again. A week later, the young man returned. He was overjoyed, holding the clock in his hands. "Thank you, Mr. Parker. You've given me a gift that means more than you could know," he said, his voice filled with gratitude. Mr. Parker, who rarely showed his emotions, felt a warm sense of accomplishment. This clock, he thought, was never truly broken, it just needed someone to believe in it. The clock not only found a new owner, but it also found new life. Just like the people who feel lost or broken, sometimes they only need a little faith and a second chance. Moral of the story is, never give up on something or someone just because they seem broken. With care and belief, even the most worn-out things can shine again.